right. And we are live, everybody. Welcome to another Somnium live web event from Somnium Web. Today, as always, is quite a special one. I think you can tell it already by surrounding. If I scroll like this around, you can see some amazing pictures of some epic cars and other stuff. And of course, welcome everybody who are on the web parcel with us. Thank you for coming. And also welcome to those who are watching our live stream. Thank you for joining and tuning in. I'll give the words to Nature Warp, George, to say a few words about this event. What are we doing here? What's special about that? And then we'll take it from there and have a discussion. All right.
All right. Hey, hello guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us in this, what I think to be an awesome live event, an awesome gallery of the real Cyberpunk 88 special art setup is how I think of it. I discovered him a couple of weeks ago and I was amazed. I saw one of these crypto minions that you can see right behind me, video NFTs, and I saw one of those cars, those blazing cyberpunk cars. They just popped out of the screen and I had to go for them. And here we are, couple months later, more of these minions popped up, more of these cars popped up, and we even are preparing some collaboration, which is gonna be not 100% revealed, but we can discuss it. So I say, let's talk about some crypto art, some NFT, some upcoming Somnium space vehicles, and whatnot. I guess a lot of cyberpunk as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I already know what will be the most painful experience of this evening is not to have these cards revealed to us. For God's sake, how can you do it to us, man? It's not
Not
fair.
ready yet.
It's not fair.
Almost ready.
This is okay. This is not fair. But yeah. So okay. I guess I would want to start probably to ask the question: how did this art? I'm a big fan of the cyberpunk culture. I like neons. Like synthwave music, like 80s and stuff like that. So I really like it. But like what are we looking at? What is this here? How did it start? How did we end up with these cool cars behind us? Yeah, just a little bit of backstory would be very helpful to know.
Yeah, maybe I can jump in here because I'm the one who actually made these kind of things, and just to give you a brief background, if you want to say so, within a couple sentences. Well, I actually started being an airbrush artist a few years back, like many years back, and then started to study virtual design and becoming more and more into this, 3D landscape. And currently, I am actually working as a game designer for a couple years. And actually, it was Corona, as hard as it sounds. It was Corona that gave me the chance to actually start my own stuff, since the company I'm working with does a lot of exhibits and stuff, like real life exhibits, and they didn't happen. So we had a lot of more free time, and that, opened my doors to go for my own art style, which definitely is in the cyberpunk universe, as you can probably tell. And it went, just from I have time to create, so let me just do whatever I want to create, into okay, let's make an Instagram profile and see if people like it. And from there on, it went quite fast, and people were, like giving me good feedback and stuff. And I was like, okay, then why not maybe I considered making prints and stuff. And then the NFT market, opened up to me. I've seen those, and like George just said, I kicked out my first couple of artworks, and he got them. And honestly, to everybody here and to all the artists too, it's there is no better feeling than if somebody buys one of your artworks, because that's 100%, like, the guy values you, and he hangs his art up, and then we started, getting in touch, and we're talking about cars and development of cars, and what can we do together to make those cars even better, and then we ended up, okay, why not, make a car with his awesome, and I can guarantee you, I mean, to all the ones that are here right now, that his artworks, like George's artworks, look absolutely brilliant on a car. So why not give that a try? And just make a couple renderings and stuff. And from there on, we kept on, pinballing ideas and ended up, why not make a car for Somnium and
Yeah,
pick out
now you
something
combine two of
exclusive.
my favorite things: the NFT vehicles in Somnium and George's art. So like okay, I'll tell different cyberpunk NFT vehicles, and the Natural Warp's art. So this already, even under this cover, it looks already epic. So definitely something to look forward. I guess here I would say a few words about, with I guess your inspiration also came partly, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, from us as in Somnium launching the first drivable NFT cars in the world, and this limited edition business cars we have right now in Somnium, and they are absolutely epic, fun to drive. We had races, official races. We had challenges, and I mean, we still have a lot of fun driving them. So yeah, I mean, the system, these ones the business ones were limited editions ones, which were implemented by us. This was the first step towards the user-generated drivable vehicles in the future, which is planned. And I think these cars, which we're seeing today and we'll be discussing today, they will be the part of the kind of like first wave of user-generated cars, which will be uploaded through SDK. We can dive a little bit more into how we think this will work, because not all the systems are let's say prepared at the moment and decided. So there are some open questions still from our side, from the Somnium team side, but at least the concept is clear, and we definitely know 100% we will know that people will be able to upload custom vehicles and different transportation systems into Somnium. So yeah, that will be a lot of fun. So, okay, what are you able to tell us about this vehicle which is rotating behind us in the video? Well, tell us, give us some juicy details. We need some juicy details. Come on.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, I mean, I don't know how many actual 3D artists we have here, but probably there are a few. So the big challenge is, to keep the poly count low. If you look at those renderings on the side, some of those vehicles have 500,000 polygons on one wheel. And here we look at vehicles that come somewhere between, let's say, 10 to 20K
Nice.
polys, and that is a huge challenge as an artist, because you gotta cheat your way around with alpha maps and with layering. And good thing is, if you have a little bit of that background coming from the gaming industry, you know most of the tricks. But still, I mean, we are talking about VR, and we are talking about vehicles that open, that have an interior that can be used, that can be walked around. So no open holes, no see-through meshes, no nothing. And that is a huge challenge in the first place. And also, things like, I'm not sure, Arthur, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but as far as I know, we probably don't have something like post effects in Somnium yet, like bloom and stuff.
So the bloom and stuff are available on the camera, on the VR tablet camera. So you can add it while you're making pictures or recording stuff, but not directly on the
vehicle.
But you can have some custom animations and particles effects on things, so that would help tremendously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
this would be quite
I had
hard
it in mind.
purchasing.
I had it in mind, and so see if you, for example, see the ones that are under the cover there. It looks like they have a bloom and a glow around them, but actually they don't. So
Shall we go there? Shall we have a look?
yeah,
Let's
just walk there, of course.
let's.
Let's.
Oh my
See what I mean?
goodness!
You can fake it. That's what I mean, and that's what we are
Right.
trying to achieve is fake glows and
Wow.
fake effects, and that is all possible with even within a web app, I would say. So there's a lot of trial and error and stuff going in, but all these kind of effects can actually work even though there's no bloom. So what I want to say with that is be ready for a vehicle that really shines and glows and does weird things, even though it's technically not 100% possible. But if you can't make it, then cheat your way there. It's always a possibility. And yeah, what else can I say? It's I mean, there's only a handful of people that saw concepts of it yet, which is George and even you, Arthur. You saw some too. So
Yep.
you know what kind of direction it's going to, and what else I can say is that we really want to have them, to be something special and very like limited, if you want to say so. Maybe George can say some words about this too, but currently we're planning on like a base model, which is pretty much what you are standing in front of, and 3 additional models that are just a little bit more spicy and come
Ooh.
only at the super
Wait a
unique.
Yeah, let's underestimate
wait
it
a
with a little
second.
bit more spicy.
Wait a second. The thing what I'm looking right now at is the base model. This is not even the
It
spicy
will be
one, right?
no, this will be the base model that we
Oh
we are
my
working on right
god.
now.
My poor money. My poor money. What do I need to sell to get that? Okay. Right. If we're talking about this, so how many cars in total are you planning to sell? What are we looking at?
Currently, that's our current point. Is like the base model maybe as a total of 10, and 3 additional ones that are unique, onesies, so to say.
Okay. Okay, that's
And those will be pimped.
okay, cool. Yeah, so this is this is really really cool, and like the whole system. Like I'm and everybody knows this. I'm a use case junkie. I'm pro use case, so I don't like NFTs which don't have use case. And in case of the vehicles, we saw, we didn't know how people would, react and use NFT vehicles in Somnium, but we also made sure. Okay, someone is echoing. Someone has the. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So we didn't know how people will use vehicles, but we made sure that the driving of vehicles in Somnium is fun. Um, it's a great experience. It's also challenging. It's also skill based. So you have to learn and perfect your skill to drive. Right? It's not like linear. It has physics. It has quite realistic artifacts. Where you have to get used to it. And our race show that there's a lot of potential in this kind of direction. And of course, because the world is pretty huge, it makes sense that those who own vehicles, they own a special thing. They can get from point A to point B faster than if you would be walking, but slower if you would be teleporting through teleportation hubs, right? So it's a utility plus fun plus showing off. I mean, there's nothing better. I can confirm there's nothing better than coming to a disco night in VR, parking your car next to the disco club that everybody sees it, walking in or driving in directly into the disco floor. We did it as well, and just being there. It's super fun. So yeah, what what about interior? Okay, how do you, because the car we have right now, which was the first model, it doesn't have interior. It's made in a certain way that your avatar lies inside there, and it doesn't have an interior. How do you think about interior? What will be inside?
Well, basically, it's pretty much standard car. The question is, will you, and this would be a question to you, will you be able to drive with two people? So do we need a second seat, or can we use the space of the second seat to do something fancy with it? And also, that because that's the only thing I'm really concerned about is I've been at those venues before, and I've seen those awesome characters. You know, some are really big and some are really small. Obviously, it's gonna be hard to make a car where a dinosaur fits in and a little bird, but I think it just has to feel right, especially once you sit inside in VR and you look around. You have, you know, a lot of view around you that I think is pretty important. And as far as I know, this sort of third person view can help because I myself experienced motion sickness quite a couple times. And I know it can be a problem, especially when you're driving in cars or longer times, or you transport a person with you who never was in a car before and, you know, in a seated position. That's something I think we just have to try, I would say.
Right. It's the motion sickness is something we've tried to address as much as possible by the way how the camera moves. If you're in VR mode, how camera moves behind your car. So I think we've done almost maximum what we could to minimize it. And actually, believe it or not, in VR, generally speaking, in VR, only around about 7% of people have motion sickness. The good news about motion sickness is you can train yourself to overcome it. So vast majority of people, like we're talking about 95+% of people, don't have that problem. There are people who just do have that, but yet again, if, when we were racing, for example, there were some tough corners and things like this. Yeah, you have to train if you want to be a car racer. It's like in real life, you have to have certain skill, you have to have certain abilities to be able to do some crazy racing. And oh god, we'll have some really cool racing events in the future with some astonishing racetracks and challenges and stuff. So a lot more to come. So I get a question right now from Discord and Somnium Discord. When do you plan to start the sale? What are you thinking about that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that about the?
When do you have any timeline regarding the sale? When do you plan to start selling it, and how will it go?
That's a very good question, and I would love to throw that ball right back to you because from from our point, or let's say from my point, I can give you a little bit of my time frame because I actually finished base model entirely actually yesterday night, modeling wise and tweaking wise and everything. And I'll, like I said it before, I'll have a VR headset towards the end of the week, so I can theoretically practice and look at it in VR and tweak and optimize a bit. But from my side and from me and George's side, I think we can deliver quite fast. I would say within the next couple of weeks.
Right, right. So
That's
that definitely will take more time than that. Or let me rephrase. The user-generated vehicle system um, will take a bit longer time. The way how we see it working right now, and the way how we plan it to make it working right now, is the following. So next week, or the week which is upcoming right now, we will be releasing the Builder SDK, which will allow people to upload custom models, 3D models, even with animations and stuff, through our Unity SDK directly to their parcels. The next big milestone which is coming, which will be the Worlds SDK, some of the Worlds SDK, and um, After that, we will concentrate on user-generated content in general. And this is not only vehicles, this is everything around wearables, vehicles, and other artifacts into Somnium world. But with vehicles, there has to be balance. So what we cannot make, what we cannot make sure that it's that happens is that there is uncontrollable amount of vehicles uploaded by people, just for fun, because there are several reasons for that. The first one is performance of the world. If people overload the world with vehicles, it will just make it unbearable. Second of all, we have quite a sophisticated plan and already partly realized plan for transportation system inside Somnium, how people walk, how people teleport, what's the economical system behind the teleportation hubs, and all of those things. So we have to keep the balance. So at this moment, we see that vehicles will, people who will want to make vehicles drive, or airplanes fly or drones fly, they will have to either find or win or buy, or all of that together, some special component which they would add to the model which they upload through SDK, and that would make that thing drivable, right? So for sure there will be some quests where when you win those, you will have as the prize, you will have 1 or 2 components addable to your vehicles, and depending on how many components of those you have, that's how many of the vehicles you will be able to produce. So imagine it's kind of like a license, like a New York license to the taxi drivers, right? That's kind of the idea at the moment. And yes, so that system, that being said, that system will will take a little bit of time for us to prepare and at least release the version 1 of that, because that it has to be balanced out, it has to be thought through. But definitely that's what we really want to do as soon as possible, because that's a lot of fun, right? When we'll see a lot of different vehicles from people running around in the world, driving around in the world, there will be a healthy market for that type of transportation, of course. And so that's the plan, and we are going to be realizing this plan as soon as we can.
That sounds great. But if you need any, like cars to test with your SDK or anything,
Absolutely.
here I am.
Absolutely. This is definitely like we did with a business, for example, and I think that was a great idea. The only 5 cars exist so far as NFTs in Somnium. They're extremely expensive. They're extremely rare. They're of course amazing cars. But we decided to release, as a celebration, for a limited period of time, a bit less than 1 month, we decided to release those cars as the 10 drivable cars in the city center, so that anyone can drive those cars and try them out. We actually will be deactivating those, let's call them free cars, test cars, this Thursday. And only those people who have NFTs, those 5 NFTs, will be able to continue driving them around Somnium. Others will have to just watch so far. But yes, when we will be testing the system, you will be the first ones who will come to, because you are the first ones to produce those cool vehicles. So definitely looking forward to that. And of course, I love neons, and when I looked under the hood of the car, yeah, it looks epic.
That sounds awesome. That sounds absolutely awesome.
All right, and what about so how do you approach interior in general? Because we want to have vehicles to be able to take the steering wheel and drive if you're in a first person view, or like do you prepare any special, or how? Okay, George, a question to you: how will your art be integrated into the car? Like, are we looking at 360-degree bubbles inside the car, or what is happening there?
our first tests with like a wrap, like in real life you would print a wrap around the car. Those looked really awesome. And I assume one of our next tech tests would be like the avatar that you bought from me with the 360 shader. Maybe
Oh my
that
god.
would be, I think, very flipping to have a car like that.
Oh my
So
god.
I'm
Okay,
looking
Yes.
forward to see
the
that
wheel could
that
be like
result.
this as well. Can you imagine rotating 360 shader inside the wheel? Whew.
You see, this would be one of the unique ones then,
Yeah,
probably.
So one of the
highly like.
three, one of the three. All right. Yeah. Woo. This will be a lot of a lot of fun, and I can't wait. Can we go back to the center of the parcel and talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
medians a little bit and the art
yeah. I
inside?
want to know more about the minis as well.
Yes, let's do it. So, okay, you have a very unique style. Um, could you tell more about the process of creation and why medians and how they became to be what they are right now? And yeah, how long does it take to create one and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure, of course. Well, as you just said, it's a little bit of my those. I am actually quite proud of them since they are, they were. I started those and like this whole getting my own style out thing and making own art like very late last year. I think in October, end of October. And those were the first steps towards when I thought, okay, I found this niche and I can work out with those colors because it might sometimes seem very easy to work just with bluish and pinkish tones, but actually it isn't. You really have to figure out the amount of colors and stuff. And why minions? Yeah, I can tell you why. I think, in cyberpunk in general, we're talking about, 20, 30, 50 years in the future. And this is exactly the same concept as I went with the cars that are behind us. There's certain things in pop culture or in modern culture, like those minions, that will even be there in 50 years. At least that's what I'm assuming. Nobody knows. But coming with from those cars that were classics, like 50 years ago, people still go wild for them, and there will, even if cars in the future will fly, I'm sure there will be still people, buying those old Mustangs and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's design pieces and artworks that will never vanish or will never be forgotten. And I highly think that, and one of, I have a little daughter now. She's 2, and she is absolutely in love with minions. And when I was creating those, I was, she was coming to the desk and she was always like, "Oh my God, a minion, a minion!" And it's those things that will, I think, stay. And when it comes to the process itself, it's basically a 3D model, like all the way. But there is a lot of things that happen. I mean, if you click them, if you just stand in front of them, you might not see it. But if you click them, you see this animation going on and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
Let me check.
yeah, so they're actually
Oh.
animated.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all of them are animated, and obviously, if that this is the preview images of them, they are also like in a pretty high definition. And what I thought about them in general was like, if you think about NFTs and your wallet, I just want to have, throw a little fun inside of that. And so the left one is going to be your wallet keeper. He's like your personal bodyguard. The middle one is just, to add the absolute maniac mode and craziness to your collection, and the right one is, the bad boy, and you don't want to mess with him, otherwise he's gonna burn your bitcoins or ethereums in this case.
It's so cool.
How could they
And
not have chosen me?
and yeah, the process. I mean, the time wise, it's hard to say. I would say about approximately 20 hours each, starting with one as a base and then having it rigged. but I'm not as I'm still learning in Blender. I just started using Blender like a year ago, and a lot of what you see really happened in the post actually,
Cool.
like in Photoshop
All right. Yeah, that's
or in After Effects. Yeah.
yeah. It looks really, really, really cool.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we have cars on the other. By the way, if anyone has a question, you can ask or you can type it in the chat on the bottom left. There's the chat, so if you don't want to, ask via audio, you can type your question there and we'll read it throughout. So, but in meanwhile, there are cars on the other side, and these cars are looking great as well. So what did inspire you to start making those? I guess the love for the old school cars and cyberpunk
Yes,
together.
I mean, I grew up. That's a little bit of my backstory. I grew up right next to a racetrack. So even when I was a
Oh,
kid, I was Hockenheim, Germany. There's Formula One races, there's drag races, there's beautiful cars like every weekend basically. So I was into cars like pretty much from my youngest days on, and I do love old cars. I have an absolute passion for old cars because personally, I think they are masterpieces.
yeah,
In my opinion, absolute masterpieces of art in like as vehicles as they are. And you see, this is the funny thing because modeling one of these is actually something I absolutely enjoy. I cannot even count it anymore. I think probably 40 to 50 cars in total that I modeled since I started with 3D. And my very first one was a Ford Mustang that I made, and that took me forever to do. And it looked terrible from many angles, but you get used to it with the shapes and what
yeah,
makes it, and then like with the minions, just take the same design that was beautiful back then and just cyberpunk it and imagine how would people maybe transform it into a future perspective. And the city in the background is Frankfurt. That's where I live. Yeah.
oh, so okay,
So
cool. So
that's
you're from Frankfurt, and that is a Frankfurt skyline, really?
Yeah, it is a bit. It is a bit. Let's say like that. It's a photo bash between Shanghai, some pictures of Frankfurt, and some 3D models of Frankfurt. So
Nice.
yeah, but it is. And if somebody would be from Frankfurt and would look and be like, "Oh my God, the sizes do not match at all," but yeah, that's
This is not
creative
exactly
freedom.
correct. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a creative freedom, I would say. So.
No, it's really awesome. Do you um, do you dream sometimes about being able to walk in VR into such a city, sit down into this car, and just drive around, talk to people and things like that?
Absolutely, man. But you know what the issue would be? I would probably never take the VR headset off again. That is,
Oh, tell me about that.
if that would be possible. Yeah, no, of course, of course, of course. I mean, this is in general. I mean, VR is definitely the future, and we see it developing. I mean, I had the Quest, no, the Oculus Rift, the very first one as an SDK years ago, and we were at that. We developed world's first on-ride roller coaster with a VR headset on.
Oh,
Like you,
nice.
you, you drive, and there was a student project, and in those moments where you feel, there is no motion sickness because you feel the motion in your body and you just see
Yes.
something else
Yes.
happening. And that was the very first Oculus, and it had, I don't know, 800 times 600 pixels. It
Yeah.
was a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now with the new releases of those brand new Vive standalone glasses, and it's just wow. So it's the technology of the future, and VR is a beast. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, why I was asking this is it was kind of like it was a shameless plug from my side. It's because
No,
oh, can you imagine
no.
what a plot, what a twist here? No, a shameless plug in terms of what I wanted to say is that people think that like all of that what I just described, that you will come into the car, you will sit into the car, and you will drive into this futuristic city. that it's something, from some future happening in maybe 10, 15, 20 years. The truth is, you can actually do it already today. And especially with the launch of Somnium Worlds, everybody will be able to do whatever the heck they will want to do from the skylines and the style of the world, and basically create their own universe. So I can really imagine, this neon cyberpunk style city to be built inside, and maybe some car racing happening where people can take their NFTs, which they own, as cars, and race them, and maybe even put some Somnium cubes on the line there, as the winner will take it all, or something like that. Like that's basically a few months away. This is not even years. This is a few months away where you'll be able to do that, because the car is already here, the worlds are almost here, and then it's just about the imagination. And I would even, if there is a will and there is a skill, I would even partner with, as the world's owner. I own several worlds. I would partner with you gladly, and have one of my worlds be built in such style. Because again, I love cyberpunk style, and like there's nothing better than having this being built in the world.
That sounds like a dream come true, man.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime.
Cool. Okay, let's chat. I do have some worlds which I want to utilize, and obviously I don't have time to build on all of them. So I'm definitely interested to talk and discuss that, and make one world like this. This crazy racing, or crazy utopian cyberpunk racing world, with some absolutely cool tracks, and of course some other abilities. All right.
That is absolutely awesome. You need a little bar there too, where you can just chill out in a little lounge and you see the race going on around you. Imagine that.
Exactly. Oh my God, that would be fantastic. I can already see it. I can already imagine it happening. Um, all right. So what is anyone having any questions regarding the cars, regarding the art? Let us know. Speak now or never again.
Does anyone remember that race car game that was totally cyberpunk-ish, like 30 years ago, with Lance Boyle as a presentator, like a really comedian?
What was?
I think I was 18 or something, or
I'm
With
trying to.
Carmageddon.
I'm trying to remember how it was.
no, not Carmageddon. Like a TV show style cyberpunk. Lance Boyle, I think, was the name of the presentator host, with really crazy humor, and yeah, totally cyberpunk. But it was on Pentium 1 or Pentium 2.
I remember
Long time
I
ago.
had some motorbikes game, Tron style motorbikes game, where it was like a free game which I got with their with the magazine, the game magazine, and they were releasing some games. So I got this one for free on a CD drive, and that was a very epic, fun game with a lot of like different tracks and stuff. But the cyberpunk style game with the presenter, I don't remember. But there were a bunch of them actually. There were
Oh,
several.
I just found it on the Google. It's Mega Race.
Oh, Mega Race. Wait, let me have a
Mega
look.
Race.
Let me have a look what Mega Race is.
Yeah, that presentator guy is, and I think also he had like an AI partner, or like a talking computer. Hilarious, really.
Oh, you can.
But yeah,
Yeah.
completely old school.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, right. I
Did
think I
you
even
play
played
that?
it. Yes, I think
That
I
was
played it.
crazy.
Yes.
Totally remind when you talk about those worlds, I was envisioning this.
Yeah, but the beauty is, today we're living in a time where we can recreate those things, but in such an astonishing detail. And that was my dream from early on. I wanted to be inside those worlds. I didn't want to be an observer through the 2D monitor. I wanted to be inside those worlds, to walk around. For me, the world where I can go, like if I see a skyline, if you look at the cars behind us, right? If I see a skyline, I don't want that skyline to be a fake texture. I actually want to go there. I want to drive there and be able to go inside that city and drive around the blocks and, maybe enter a few buildings and stuff. That's what I want. And, today everything is possible. Like it's possible, it's doable.
Yeah, we grew up with seeing Tron and the Lawnmower Man and games like this. So yeah, inevitable future, I think.
Exactly. It's our consciousness, which are pushing me and others to be building Somnium and creating and bringing us to this toward this innovation, basically. It's very cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
I think the first time that real cyberpunk was in Somnium was at the opening of the screen gallery that I did, and then afterwards there was an event, a dance event, and Warp and Cyberpunk and Ultralord and I went for a walk just to explore the space and to check out Ultralord's parcel, and we were discussing the possibility of like integrating specific, for instance, Ultralord builds a set of wheels that could be used in a Somnium world. Is that something that, I'm sure that it's going to be integrated like that, but how amazing it would be to partner with, the builders of certain worlds via your parcel, be able to build weapons or build, in this case, like an engine upgrade or something like that can be purchased as an NFT and then brought into the Somnium world and applied to your vehicle there, or, your avatar inside of that world. Is that kind of the scope of the vision that we have here, Arthur?
Yes, it is. The thing is, this is kind of like the step 2 and 3, because we're talking several layers of complexity, right? One layer is, for example, for avatars. One layer is we have avatars in Somnium, right? Custom avatars, and they can be NFTs. Now you'll be able very soon this year, you'll be able to, create and buy some wearables for those avatars. Again, all as NFTs, all inside world, all instant transactions. You'll be able even to give your, to give one wearable to the person as from hand to hand, and that's how the NFT will be transferred. But in terms of equipping and upgrading the cars and other things, yes, of course. This is the part of the inventory system which is coming this year. At least parts of that will be coming this year, but it takes time to make a full-fledged inventory system where things which are there and which are meant to be there talk to each other to a main system which assigns them certain functionalities, right? Because cosmetics is not a problem, generally speaking. But when we're talking about giving certain abilities to the cars, and now we're getting back to those special add-ons which you will have to use to make the car drivable. So those things, those special things would give them some properties, right? So you might have found, or if you win a quest, then you will find this special magic item which will have certain abilities. So you would say it will have speed at 8, agility at 3, and then you, as the owner of that magic item, you are either sell it, or you would say, okay, I have this vehicle here, I would apply it to this vehicle, and maybe it will be an SUV, or maybe it will be a race car, and that's how you'll use it. And then other things like better tires will increase those things. But to implement such system, it will take time. We are looking at the upgradability of items. We're looking at next year. So this year would be main level of items. So meaning, okay, you have an NFT. you have a drivable NFT, you have an avatar, you have some wearables, and then we're going to kind of increase the complexity step by step. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, makes total sense. I mean, I'm in no rush, and I just assume that you're moving in that direction based on how you've rolled things out to this point. Just that's kind of one of the main visions I think I have for my parcel and my presence in Somnium is to partner with people who are building worlds to create, objects with attributes, usable items that can be imported into that world and apply upgrades. So no, that's great to know. I figured that you were thinking in that way. I just wanted to confirm.
Right, worlds will be the beasts of their own. Like they will be amazing because the possibilities in the worlds will be kind of endless. And it's just, the only limit will be really the imagination of the person. Like that's it. And they will be true things to kind of express your creativity, and also for those who know how, or who will have enough creativity, they will be able to monetize them quite well, because you can create games, racetracks, shooting game, whatever, experiences, and then people will happily pay for some amazing experiences in the worlds if they see value in that, or they will just support that world as well. So yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, I see visionary art galleries pop up in the SDK quite soon, I guess.
Yeah, that's very close. So we'll be releasing some more information this week, and and people will be able to start uploading some stuff on their parcels. And the next step is Somnium World SDK, which is not so far away. We're getting there.
Hey, Cyberbug, fantastic work here, man.
Yeah,
really amazing to see you get spun up so quickly and such high quality stuff, man. It's excellent.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. I like you said before, your exhibit was my step into this whole world here, and I could not have imagined being here, like a couple months later. At that point, it feels it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's all due to that minion with the pink laser sword. That's his fault. He triggered it. Couldn't help it.
Sometimes when you think about how life is done, right? Like how some events trigger other events unexpectedly, and then I guess the rule is be determined, believe in what you do, and then great things will happen. Do it with your open heart, be a good person, and then great things will be happening. If you work hard, if you believe in what you do, the success in one way or another is inevitable. Like it's just like that.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the recipe for success.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I can't wait to first of all see the car in full glory, and second of all to just click and drive it, and
and win races.
and race. Can you imagine, like the on the start there will be some Abyssus cars, these cars, other cars, and each will have its own property. Each team or person will have its their own fan base, and there will be some betting happening in the bar above the racetrack or next to the racetrack, and there will be some some intense racing for like 20 laps and stuff like that. It's all in VR. Yeah, I can't wait.
Maybe Lance Boyle still lives and we can have him talk this.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Exactly. That would be fantastic. But yeah, and again, it's not a science fiction. It's actually reality, and we're not that far from that. We had already world's first NFT car racing in Somnium, and it was epic fun. And it was hard. Like, it was genuinely hard. So, yeah, it's happening. It's here. The future is now.
But
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely
the
amazing.
the quality of like some of the stuff. I mean, that this right here, like, you've got Mocha in here, and there's Swiggle Dow, and all Arvatars is in here, like with this quality of building, being exclusive also to Somnium Space. I intend to create the highest quality avatars that I can, moving into object design and all that, wearables and everything. I mean, it's going to be a sight to behold when there's a huge number of just extraordinarily high quality designers and creatives coming. I mean, yeah, it'll be freaking Disneyland, man.
Absolutely, and I think
Totally.
it's a good point you are raising. I think, um, 'cause, I would be as let's say I can say that Somnium world itself looks very believable. It's a very immersive place. It looks beautiful. And when the sun sets and sun rises and the weather and all the builds around. And I think that creates kind of like a standard level when you create an avatar or someone creates an amazing avatar, like for example Pete, creates an avatar, and then others want to kind of in a good way beat that, right? And they try to be even more creative, and then some others come in and they try to even create even better avatar. So that brings and rises the level of creativity, and then the business cards come, and then George and the cyberpunk guys comes, and they we all together we all try to improve those things, and I think we are kind of succeeding in that. And yes, it brings the level of quality together. Okay, so what's happening here? Let me see what happened there. What happened there? What happened to you guys? Do you hear me? Try to speak. Do you hear me? Hello? Okay, let me refresh.
Creative minds put together these worlds. I hope to set
All right,
or find
that was
theme.
interesting. I was standing here, and uh, then I saw you disappearing one by one. I was like, "What is happening?" It's like apocalypse came in. Like I'm losing them. Don't go, don't go. And the only me I was left there.
Yeah, it happens once and sometimes, but not so very often, that the audio just drops and then you have to go out and back in again.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, I understand why it would happen if like there will be like 80 people or something, but yeah, we'll investigate what happened today. Yes, I was telling that it's like we collectively we put the level of creativity high, and we make this place better.
Yeah.
It's endless possibilities.
And
It's just wow. It's
super enabling world you built here, Arthur. Amazing.
It would be nothing without all of you guys. So
Yeah.
my dream when people, my dream is coming alive because I dreamt to have, I dreamed to have the world where I would be surprised every day by something new, what is coming out. And right now it's exactly that stage where every day I come into Somnium, I see new builds, new things, and I can't even keep up anymore. This is the beauty of it. I just don't know And this is just so fantastic. I'm so grateful for for all of you to be inside this world and to create all together. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Must be how God feels. He sure can't keep up with everything.
I guess.
I was walking around the other day just in some corners that I hadn't seen before, and holy crap, man! Like what some people have done just with the builders itself. Like
Yeah.
there's one spiraling building back by the incubator of crypto art.
Oh yes, this is insane
Man.
build. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It blew my mind.
I don't even know how much time did it take to build. Like honestly, it's hard. It's hard to build something like that, and the lighting there and everything. Yeah, if those who didn't visit Ioka, the incubator of crypto art district in Somnium, you better go and visit it because there are some amazing builds inside, and this is one of them for sure. Worth visiting. I think there's a teleportation hub right now, not far away from that district. So I totally recommend doing it.
Yeah, well, hey guys, I'm gonna hit the road. It's been nice, great work, Cyberpunk and Arthur, Natural
Thank you
War.
for coming. Yeah,
thank
I
you
guess
so
we're
much.
also wrapping up today's event at this point. And yeah, it was absolute fun to be here, to learn more about the car, to learn more about the art, which is amazing. How did I not buy any of this art? I don't know. But I'll be hunting for the car. And yeah, thank you everyone who was watching this event. It's another great example of creativity and what's to come into Somnium in VR. And yes, if you are not yet in our Discord, join our Discord, which is discord.gg/somniumspace. Go to our website, download the client, dive in the VR, because once you experience Somnium in VR, there's no way back. You can't go back to a non-VR mode, in my opinion. So yeah, thank you Cyberpunks, thank you George, thank you Elo, thank you everybody else, Ultralord, Fernando, and others. Yeah.
And thank you for hosting.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
And for having this.
As I always say, see you on the other
side of the monitor.
Ciao, ciao.
See you.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao. Thank you so much.